Hey everybody, it's Miss Woody over at Heiser Middle School, and today we're going to be adding and subtracting with scientific notation. Here's our first problem. Now notice that these match, and because they match, we're going to be able to include that in our answer. We don't have to do anything else to that. It's not like exponent rules, because we're not going to add these 5s. We're just going to write 5. But we can add this number plus that number. So we're going to add 3.769 and 4.21. Now remember, Miss Smith and Miss Portillo taught you guys in 6th grade that you got to line up those decimal points. If you don't line them up, your answer is not going to be right. We're going to put a 0 here as a placeholder, and we're just going to add. That's 9, that's 7, that's 9, decimal, lined up, and that's 7. What's great about this problem is there's already only one number in front of that decimal. That's what we want. We only want one number in front of the decimal. So we can already write that answer right here. And we don't have to do anything else to it. And our answer is 7.979 times 10 to the 5th. Let's try another one of those. Alright, so on this problem, we have a negative exponent. But we're still going to treat it exactly the same. It's still going to be part of our answer. This time we're going to subtract these two numbers because this time it's subtraction. So we have 8.14, we're subtracting 2.01, still lining up those decimal points. 4 minus 1 is 3, it's 1, that's 6. Answer has a lined up decimal point. So our answer already has one number in front of the decimal, so we can just write it, and that is our answer. 6.13 times 10 to the negative 2. Now, this is the end of the really simple ones. So if you were at all confused with anything that I just did on the last two problems, you should go back and watch them again, or maybe make up some practice problems for yourself, because we're about to get just a little bit harder. We're going to try this one. Now this time, we don't know whether we're going to write 5 as part of our answer or whether we're going to write 6 as part of our answer. They don't match anymore. So we're going to have to change either the 5 to be a 6 or the 6 to be a 5. And math won't let us just change numbers because we feel like it. We got to change it using the rules. So the other day, well, I guess before spring break, really, you guys changed them from scientific notation to standard form. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take this scientific notation and we're going to change it to standard form. I'm going to change the left one. It doesn't really matter which one you change. I just feel like changing the left one. So I have 7.58. To change it to standard form, I'm going to move it 5 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the places, I'm going to put zeros as placeholders. Now, I want it to be a 6. So I'm going to go back the other way 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our decimal point is going to be way up in the front of the 7 now. So our new scientific notation is 0.758. I don't need these zeros, so I'm not going to write them. Times 10 to the 6th, because we moved 6 times to get it to that spot. Now, both of these have the same number. They both have a 10 to the 6. So we know our answer is going to have a 10 to the 6. The only thing we have left to do is add these numbers. So let's do that. So we got 0.758 and 2.871, and we're going to add. So that's 9, 12, 16, 3. And we have one number in front of the decimal point, so we can go back over here, and we're done. Not too hard. Let's try another one kind of like that, but with negatives. So we have -8 and -10 as our exponents now. So let's change one. Let's change the right one this time. We changed the left one last time. It's only fair. So we got 5.72. We're going to move to the left this time because it's negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to put zeros as placeholders. Alright, so we really want that 10 to be an 8 to match with this one. So we're going to go back the other direction, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's where our decimal is going to be now. First one didn't change, so we're going to just write that one. The second one did change, so it's going to be 0.0572 times 10. What did we change it to? Oh yeah, we changed it to a -8 because we moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get this number. Now we know our answer is going to have the -8 because both of them have it, finally. We just got to subtract these two. So we get 2.9785 minus 0.0572. That equals 3129.2. So we have one number in front of the decimal. We're all good. And that's our answer. Now this is another good time to stop because we're about to get just a little bit harder again. Well, not harder, just different. So if you didn't understand the last two problems, you should watch those two again. Alright, now we have the same one again. We have we have 10 to the third and 10 to the third. So, not quite sure why this one's harder yet, but I'm sure we'll find out soon, right? So, we know that they match, so that's it, right? So, subtract those other numbers. So, 4.86 minus 4.723. Line up the decimals. We need a placeholder here, so let's put a 0. We can't take 3 from 0, so we're going to borrow. We got 7, 3, 1, 0. Oh, I see. We don't have a number here. Zeros don't count, remember? This decimal is supposed to be behind the 1. We can't just put it there, though, just because we feel like it. We have to follow the rules. So we're going to take this, and we're going to put it here, just like we did before. But we're going to have to put it back in standard so we can put it in real scientific notation, because this scientific notation is wrong. So let's move this decimal 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now we want it to be right there. So let's move the decimal to be right there. Now, how many times did we move it this time? We only moved it twice. So it's really supposed to be 1.37 times 10 to the 2, because we moved it twice, not 3 times. So our answer is 1.37 times 10 to the second power. Here's another one. It's probably going to be the same kind of thing because these match again. And if they were going to be different, they probably wouldn't match. So probably we're going to have to move the decimal again. So 8.45 and 9.2, we're going to add them, put a placeholder, 5, 6, 17. What did I tell you? We got two numbers up here now. We're only supposed to have one. So we're going to have to change it again because it's not really scientific notation. It's wrong. So we got to put it back in standard form. So 17.65, we're going to move it 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4 placeholders. Now we're going to go back the other direction. We want the decimal to be after the 1. So we're going to have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's really supposed to be 1.765 times 10 to the 5th. That's better. Alright, I think we have 2 more problems. What's going to be different this time is these aren't going to match anymore. So if you didn't understand the last 2 problems, again, you need to pause so you can go back and look at those ones again, because we're about to get just a little bit more complicated. Alright, so on this problem, they don't match anymore. So we're going to have to make a match. Let's change the one on the right, just cuz. So 1, 2, because it's -2. And now we're going to move it 5, so we can match with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our first number didn't change, but our second one did. Our second one, the decimal is right here now. So it's going to be 8300 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 to the 5th. And now they match. So our answer is going to have a 10 to the 5th. Our last step, I hope, is to add those. But looking at this number, we're probably going to have to move a decimal again. So our first one is 1.496. Our second one is 8300. Placeholders. So we get 8301.496. See, we have too many numbers. So we're going to have to put it in standard so we can put it back in real scientific notation. So we're going to have to move a 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want it to be right there. So we're going to have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8.301496 times 10 to the 8th power. Okay, so that is the last one I'm going to do. I don't have time to do the other one. I only have 15 minutes to make these. So if you have any questions about this, you should write them down, because the kids tomorrow are going to be able to show you everything that you don't understand on this when they're teaching at the board tomorrow. If you have any questions, write them down. Seriously. Thanks, guys.